Just to circle back and close the book on this time travel rubbish. If it existed, Odin would have it. And Odin has to be 5 shades more fucked than we are already.
I would not ask them to change the past, even if they could. I only want information.
And that's quite dangerous enough, in my experience. Brother, you ever think of cooking meat with those blades of yours?
No. They would foul the meat.
Oh, because of the magic on them?
The blood.
Ah, yes. Carry on then. More bloody drop. You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Ragnarok.
Whatever.
Reminds me of tales of a cruel empress, one too angry to die.
We will see.
You know, I would have beaten you
What?
earlier if Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again, find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own. But we will speak of this later.
I'm all for exploring the area, but to be clear, it's down there we'll find the Norns. What's that outpost?
I've expanded my inventory since we last spoke. I'll disinfect my tools. Anything for Freya? Kratos? Have we more to talk about?
Mimir, look. Another Fjotalund marking.
Aye, this place must have been part of Sigrun's kingdom. A first outpost preceding further expansion. This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counterspell. Sad to see Sigrun's homeland in such a terrible state.
You know, Mimir, if you want to take a tour of her kingdom, you might not like everything you find.
So, she loved another before me. There are worse things to discover about someone you love.
Yes, there certainly are.
A musical instrument from your homeland, isn't it? Can you play?
Yes.
Will you?
No.
Now, where have we seen an artifact like that before?
Tyr's vault.
Good! That's the way! Switching arrows!
Over there. Well done.
Maybe those runes can give us a bit of history about this place. It can't be.
It is.
Oh, Mimir. Look, the other half of the key.
I knew those key pieces would fit. Can't wait to see what lock it belongs to. Behind you! Incoming! Behind you!
From behind! Incoming! The Alpha!
May want to stop the wisps, brother!
The Alpha!
Brother, I had a thought. What if we took a step and Helge massacred our family just because he couldn't have her? Only her brother, Prince Dogger, survived to kill the Mad King.
Sigrun and her brother had issues over that.
And all the time Sigrun and I spent with each other. She never mentioned anything about this.
Maybe she liked the way you saw her.
Now, if we could get back to the story of Hrimthur, the stonemason's son, I was hoping to get Freya's version of what happened.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
Two! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the mason wants.
Wait. That building.
How strange. I've never seen that building before.
Aye. Very strange indeed. Let's take a closer look.
Raider on the left!
Behind you! Incoming!
Wait. The shield that's blocking the entrance. It looks exactly like the one from Tyr's statue.
It's another piece of Tyr's likeness sent flying across the lake. Ended up lodged right into this building, apparently. All this must have been hidden behind the ice until that shield smashed through it.
Doesn't look like you can brute force it.
Good! That's the way!
Could be useful. Well done. Now we just need to open the gate. Well done. Rude.
It was not intentional.
So sure. My arrows can't go through walls, I'm afraid. Together again. Mimir, does this look like an abandoned treasury to you?
Aye, it does.
It's Sigrun's family crest. Looks like a vault door to me.
Now that we have both halves to that key, we should see if it matches that lock.
Dead on the throne.
Kratos! Helga! Good, that's the way!
Good hit, brother!
Here sits Prince Dagger. I can't believe he's still here.
Prince Dogger? That the corpse of Sigrun's brother? How'd he end up like that, then? Freya? Why won't you answer me?
Are you certain you want to read this?
No, brother. You do it.
It seems Sigrun put a curse on her brother for killing the Mad King.
No. Truly?
She did not know the Mad King had murdered her family. Once she did, it was too late. She had cursed her brother. That is why she joined the Valkyries. To atone.
You knew all about Sigrun's family, didn't you, Freya?
It's not my story to tell.
Funny. Learning all this only makes me love her more. She chose me despite my flaws, my regrets. Knowing she has some of her own makes me feel closer to her.
I am glad to hear it.
Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it...
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true. Your brother. I felt nary a scratch.
Shame.
me return to your story of Hrimthur. You said if he built Asgard's wall in time, he was promised an audience with you.
Yes, and built it he did. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur.
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear.
Ah, but enough of that for now.
Enemy behind you, Kratos!
Einarjar, on the left!
Shield strike, now! Seems like old times. Oh, we used to travel through this temple constantly. A quick how do you do to Brock? Then off on another adventure.
You miss it?
Everything for help. Simpler then.
Agreed.
Is that a frozen lightning bolt?
My fight with Thor ended there.
That's where you landed. No wonder there's bits of Tyr's statue all over the lake.
You said you and Thor caused that?
Yes. The result of our weapons colliding.
Ouch.
Yes.
Well, lady, I was curious about some of the flora we've encountered on our travels.
And you will remain curious. It's not my job to teach you everything, Lemire.
Look, I was just asking.
And you have been told.
Oh, you can say that again. Getting back to your story, Freya. You granted an audience to Hrimthur after he finished building Asgard's wall. What at long last did he whisper to you?
Well, he said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard realm tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it? I just hope the Norns are somewhere indoors, and warm. Safe to say, no, I have not missed Midgard in Fimbulwinter. Thank you.
We will see soon enough.
Watch the fire!
Watch out! Incoming! Left side! The way forward is magically sealed. Something in here is giving it power.
Might I suggest the ominous broken gravestone?
The hilt of a sword.
Brother, I know that sword hilt. Tread carefully. You of all people know how weapons can carry ghosts.
If it does not help us find the Norns, it can wait.
Let's keep looking. This way. I feel a trace of their illusions here. I can try to dispel it. Oh, no. There's nothing here.
A false trail.
I'm afraid so. We'll have to see what else the wolves can find.
Typical Nornish mischief.
They know we're searching. I warned you they wouldn't make it easy.
What's the hilt of a cursed king have to do with any of it?
Distraction? Coincidence? Who knows? I suppose they'd say we were fated to find it. Kratos, tell me more of your homeland.
It was violent and cruel.
Sounds no different from these lands.
It was warmer.
An abandoned camp.
Whoever was here left long ago.
What did you find?
A list of provisions needed to prepare a meal.
A recipe? Who left that way out here?
Let's take a look at the ingredients. Perhaps the recipe will lead us to them. Looks like initials. Do they match the ones in that recipe book you found?
I imagine we might find one of... Ah, I knew I recognized those initials. The Ballad of Yari and Somar.
I'm not familiar.
An old tale. But a good one nonetheless. The carving marks their passage through this realm. We could always try and find the others if you're curious. Freya, what you said about the flaw that Hrimthur built into Asgard's wall, did he explain how it works? How do we exploit it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye, blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way.
Hold on. Prepare for battle. Another Berserker gravestone.
Ragnar zealot.
For my all will repent! Guide me, my king!
Take it off, man! You've got this!
Guide me, my king! Guide me, my king! Your shield could be of use! Guide me, my king! The Alpha! Fear my king!
Good riddance, you feckless ball bag!
You knew this warrior.
Do me a favor, brother. You see any more of these ghostly berserker tossers, give them the same. You'll be doing the Nine Realms a favor.
Did these warriors wrong you at some point, Mimir? You're quite agitated, even for you.
No need to rehash ancient history if it's all the same to you.
Very well. Freya, something your brother said. The Aesir burned him.
Yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages. Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
It's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
So Freya was a guest when Odin burned him.
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while.
The wolves lead us here.
Let's see. I feel something. In this direction.
Feel what exactly?
Another illusion. It's coming from this wall. The Norns are hiding something. Open up. Nothing. Another dead end.
A trap!
Leader, left leg!
That's all of them. You know, this search will only get more dangerous.
Then we keep looking.
Back to the wolves, then.
The wolves have picked up another trail. Keep following their heads.
Freya, you were speaking of your brother after he was burned by the Aesir mob.
Yes. It haunted him for a long time. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where his anger came from. This is the place. We need to work our way up. This way. There. Can you cut a way through the ice?
Oh, are the Norns making magical ice walls now?
No. I think the water just froze.
More of your friends.
I didn't tell them to be here.
Incoming fire!
Behind you! Incoming!
I don't know what the Norns did to trick all these raiders into guarding them. Not that they have any idea that's what they're doing.
Freya, thank you for your help. I know this was not your focus.
The sooner we find your son, the sooner you'll be able to focus. I just hope it works.
The same. Thank you.
A fine sentiment, but write her a bloody note when we're out of the cold, brother. Brother, this way seems like a way out, not a way in.
I concur. The Norns are further up. Okay, I feel something. It's stronger this time. Over here. Opener. We found it.
Ah, isn't it always the third place you look? Is everyone hearing that creepy whisper?
It is like an itch in the mind.
It means we've stepped into their domain. Be ready for anything.
Illusions.
Projections, possibly. But assume nothing. There's no telling what manner of creature they've made unwitting guards.
Delightful.
Kratos, Ghost of Sparta, Bane of Olympus, Destroyer of Fate, Cruel Striker, Bringer of War, Weapon of the Gods, turned against his creators. He chases a redemption he knows he can never deserve. He cannot change.
Are we in our own minds yet? He certainly seemed real enough.
I hate to tell you, the parts in your mind will be real too.
Seems he was guarding that way outside.
This place almost looks familiar, but different. Like a confused memory.
A rather hostile memory at that.
These fates should know I will not be deterred.
Freya of the Vanir, Master of Magics, Queen of the Valkyries, Witch of the Woods, Frigg of Asgard, Destroyer of all she would hope to protect. She always finds somebody to blame. She cannot change. Mimir of the Aesir,
Ah, here we go.
Counselor to Kings, Merry Wanderer of the Woods, Robin of the Good Feathers.
Let me guess. I'm a long-winded know-it-all and I cannot change? See? You forgot smartest man alive. Well, certainly clinks like genuine hack silver. I suppose there's one small consolation to this ordeal. At least we won't have to introduce ourselves.
Don't credit your reputation, Mimir. They see the whole lives of any who approach them.